My daughter is 3 years clean and sober today. It's been an amazing 3 years. I feel like I've been through PTSD over the past 3 years because, a lot of things trigger me too. I mean, I spent um, over 15 years with her in addiction. And yes, maybe may not have all been heroin at the time, but it was either, you know, crack, coke, meth, always something. And abusive boyfriends. Um, I had some very nasty feelings about a guy that she dated for years. I think I really would have paid to have somebody take him out. But getting back to that, today she's 3 years clean and sober, and I'll be perfectly honest with you, I don't think she would have been there um, if I didn't stop enabling her. I blame myself for a lot of the first 10 years, although I know it's not my fault, but I was always there to pick up the pieces. And in my mind, I was telling myself that I was keeping her alive. But that wasn't really the truth. I was keeping her in her addiction. I was making it easier for her. Because had I have stepped out of the way, the way I always say it is that I had to get out of God's way. Because I was constantly stepping on his toes. He had a plan. He would put it into action. I'd come bail her out. And even though, no, I didn't pay money to bail her out of jail. No, I didn't, give her money. She repeatedly stole my credit card. She took money from me. I allowed her to stay in my house when she was using, knowing she was using, but I felt better knowing that she was at least alive in my house than in a, some drug dealer's house where she was using sex to get drugs. But it wasn't until I cut her off completely, pretty much stopped taking her calls, gave her no money, no help, once in a while a sandwich, no roof over her head. Really just basically cutting her off. And in this situation, I was caring for my grandkids, and I would not allow her to speak to them anymore. And it did hurt them. They wanted to talk to their mom. But what I found was every time it was just so traumatic for them. It was always about her. Meemaw won't let you do this, because of this and that. Meemaw's so mean. And she was trying to get at me because I was cutting her off, which in turn was hurting the kids. So I decided, and, quite honestly, with the help of, child services, that it was best not to let her have any contact at all. And that really, I think, did help them to stay focused. I just let them know that she is fine and she's choosing to be where she is, and that, how much I loved her. But we can, we're only capable of taking care of ourselves, and that we need her to do the same thing. So, really the message that I was just trying to get out there today, and the reason I felt it on my heart to make this video, is that enabling your kids is not keeping them alive. Enabling your kids, you can justify it every way you want. At one point in time, Sonia had some money from, some inheritance, and it was rightfully her money, but I was in charge of it. And so I would divvy it out to her, but in hindsight, I should have kept it. I made excuses, made me feel better, and gave her what she wanted, because to be perfectly honest with you, it was easier. Have you ever argued with a drug addict that wants money? It was just easier. The hard way was to let her go. The hard way was to stop enabling her, to stop allowing her to have contact with me, to stop allowing her to speak negatively to me. The things that she said to me in 15 years are repulsive. But I know it was the addict talking to me and not my daughter. But the main thing is that you are not keeping them alive by giving them what they want. Stop enabling them. Let them go. Let them find their desperation so that they will turn to people that can help them, because it's not you. Moms, dads, it's not you. You're not going to save them. It's going to be somebody else. I spent many, many nights and days on my knees, on my face, on the ground, asking God to send an angel, someone that she could relate to rescue her. And it was the sheriff's office. And I'm very thankful for them. Matter of fact, for people that don't know this, I found out where she was living, in a shed with the drug dealer. And I tried to get a hold of the officer who had been at my house at 3 a.m. looking for her. And he was off for the weekend. It was a holiday weekend. And so I called Crime Stoppers and reported her. And I called him relentlessly over the weekend because I just had this feeling she was on death's door. But yeah, I called him relentlessly. And then finally on Monday morning, I got a hold of him. He's like, "Oh, we have her in holding. There was a Crime Stoppers tip." And I said, "Yeah, I know." And I made $286 off the deal. But you know what? I spent a heck of a lot more than that on her, and she's taken way more than that for me. But yeah, I called her in. I'm the one that called it in. And they couldn't get to her quick enough, in my opinion. I'd rather have her in jail, sober, than what she was doing. And I don't care what your addiction is. You're not saving your kids. Let them find desperation. The gift of desperation that God's trying to give them. But we keep getting in the way. Stop getting in the way.